Welcome back. Time now for Leo Unleashed, where I drag my backside out of the studio and travel all around the UK to see what life is like in your communities. What's great about where you live, what can be improved, how is government policy affecting you? And I have plenty of fun along the way too, just like I did when I visited the most deprived area of the UK this week, a little place called Jaywick Sands near Clacton in Essex. And I was joined by Jeff Bray, who is the leader of the reform group on Tendring District Council. In Unleashed, I'm in Jaywick Sands in Clacton in Essex. A beautiful part of the world, rolling sand dunes, beautiful skies. The sun is shining today. You wouldn't think that this place in 2019 was labelled by the government at the time as the most deprived area of the UK. However, there's big things in the future coming in Jaywick Sands. Lots of money, regeneration, and from speaking to the locals here, lots of optimism for the future. You wouldn't think from just coming up here, a few steps onto the seawall here, that this is the most deprived town in the UK. Why was that the case? What were the reasons?
The fact that we are in a flood zone, so you're in flood zone 3, you're looking at inward investment is difficult because of that.
But there are big plans. £120 million is apparently being earmarked over the next 20 years here.
But if you look at the seawall, moving the seawall out, creating a promenade, looking up this road here, you can see it's virtually impossible for people to get backwards and forwards on wheelchairs, bicycles and the like. That needs to be done. At the same time, you improve the flood defences, because without that, there's not really much point in doing anything else. Everybody's very aware of what happened here in 1953, major flooding, heavy loss of life. And
how many people died in that 53?
I believe it was 35, Ben, and that, you know, nobody wants that to happen again.
Should we go and say hello to these ladies?
I think
here?
we should. I think we
Angelwood. Are you mediums? Hello. Yeah. Who's the boss? Oh, you are. There we go.
It's got such a lovely atmosphere. It really has.
Good energy.
Exactly.
Good vibes.
Exactly. And
probably because of you lot.
And you'll be really surprised how spiritual a place Jaywick is.
I'm doing astrology too.
Astrology? Yeah. What's in the stars for the UK, do you reckon, in the coming 6 months?
New beginnings.
New beginnings. Just remind me of the Leave percent in the Brexit campaign. Morning, how are you?
Yeah.
You got some GBNews viewers there. Reggie, and you saved him from a drug dealer?
Yeah. But within 3 months, that drug dealer died of an asthma attack, so karma. All they want is love, walks and food.
Sounds like humans.
Yeah.
Just a bit of love and a bit of food.
Yeah. It's got such a bad reputation, and I don't know why. See the people here, best people in the world.
Yeah.
Best people in the world. Everyone always says hello to you. Do you know what I mean?
That's what everyone says.
This is like East London when I was a child, growing up in East London. This is what Jaywick reminds me of that.
Rainy Bakes, that's who we're looking for. Lorraine from Rainy Bakes. Oh, here we go. This is dangerous. Here now with Lorraine from Rainy Bakes. Lorraine, you were telling us on the seafront about how long you've been here. How long have you been here? How did you get into it?
Just over a year. How I got into it, I was a home baker. It then took off. People from Facebook would post pictures and somebody else would ask. Then made some of my tray bakes, put them on a little market that we've got on a Thursday here. I'm very famous for all my brownies, and at the moment, Dubai chocolate.
Oh. Wow.
Everybody said Jaywick is the most deprived town. Actually, Jaywick likes a little treat. They're not deprived. If they want to come and have a milkshake, they come and have a milkshake. They come and have a piece of brownie.
Just look at it. It could be anywhere, couldn't it? You could be on one of the nicest beaches almost anywhere in Europe. It's just fabulous. It's such an asset.
Yeah.
And it's so underused because Jaywick has this silly stigma and it doesn't deserve it. Jaywick's just so much better than that.
Nigel Farage, of course, leader of Reform UK, is the MP for this area.
He will be pushing the government to get the money we need to do this, because realistically, Ben, without the government stumping up the funds, this is not going to happen. We really need the government to take projects like this seriously.
But they call this the most deprived area of the UK, and when you come into Jaywick Sands, I understand that name tag, but when you come and look at the raw potential of the place, and I have to say, in all my travels of doing Leo Unleashed, and even before that, in my years as a journalist, I've never been to a place with so much raw beauty, so much potential, and in actual fact, I think such a massive future ahead. There we go. One of the fluffier Leo Unleashed I've done. Very soft. No confrontation. No pro-Palestine people on the beach. But there we go. Can't win them all. Panel, welcome back. I find it really interesting. I'm from a seaside town, and of course, there's a massive problem in the UK with seaside towns all over the country being underdeveloped, underfunded, deprivation. Jaywick Sands, the most deprived, according to that 2019 report. The most deprived part of the UK, but the community there, they've still got a strong sense of togetherness, Paul.
They do, don't they? But it's astonishing, I think, because there's so much potential. It's very near London, and some of those beaches look absolutely idyllic. I know it was a sunny day, but it just looks amazing.
That would be the worst thing that happens to those people if London sees it as a place for development. If property developers start looking at that place and
I disagree. A bit of extra money and going in there, why not?
It would be a bit of extra money, would it?
Those people would get moved out. They
don't need to be.
They'd lose their
community.
They would. Because Ben, when you say, it looks like one of the most deprived areas of the country and it's measured as being one of the most deprived, but you've mentioned a really important point. What makes people happy is a sense of community. That's right at the top.
And you find that I've been to the wealthiest parts of the UK, the poorest, and you do find when there is deprivation, there's poverty, there's more of a sense of community. In these big, expensive housing estates in Surrey and Oxford and so on, everyone's got massive walls, big gates, they keep themselves to themselves. They're all a bit paranoid about burglars.
But they are clearly happy people, aren't they?
Christopher Hope, our GBNews political editor, he sat down this week on his podcast with Chris Webb, and he spoke about seaside town deprivation in the UK. Take a look at this.
Blackpool and places like mine, coastal communities that have been forgotten about, and we'll be speaking about that in Parliament later today in the debates on coastal communities and tourism. They've been forgotten about. The last Labour government improved cities. You look now at Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, you can see it thriving. Now, I'm calling for this government to have that same determination and focus on coastal communities.
Interesting. Paul, Catherine, one of our members on Your Say, has said, "Oh Lord, watch out, Labour will be flooding Jaywick Sands with illegals."
I said Londoners investing. I don't know about illegals. I think people, but the money going in wouldn't do any harm.
Well, it would.
Support for the local business. I think that'd be fine.
It would.
And places like Blackpool, I live in a seaside town. You live in a seaside town. They do need investment.
They need investment. What they need is investment that's going to make sure that community spirit can stay. And that's not ever what happens. If you look at some of those people will have moved from East London because what they would have been done is gentrified out of East London, and they would have moved further out. And unfortunately, this is what's happening, where there's something that's quite nice and you get property developers coming in, the ordinary working class people who live there get priced out and they move.
But that's up to the local authority to control that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's happening in Jaywick Sands is if and when they get this £120 million package, most of it's going towards this seawall and flood defences.
Which is fair enough, given the
seawall
history.
We pushed far out. They're going to create a brand new promenade, maybe back into Worthing or Brighton or something, and then hopefully from there...
because it will become a destination.
Exactly, yeah.
Good.
All right, great stuff. There we go.
Sir.
Hope you enjoyed that. It's my last Leo Unleashed for a few weeks because I'm off for the next 2 weeks. I'm going on holiday.